Brian, so there's a big move towards privacy. It's not happened overnight. It's been ongoing. And of course, it's been accelerated in a lot of people's awareness in your industry through the updates to Apple iOS and IDFA. How's AppsFlyer working with your partners to help them through this journey, which must be kind of difficult right now?
This is a move to greater privacy, which we applaud, and it's part of AppsFlyer's principles from the beginning. And I do think that this is going to be a great win for consumers. How this actually gets implemented is really important. Even Apple, as big and as powerful as they are, really controlling so much of this ecosystem, it's required that they work with technology partners, media companies, and developers to really affect change. And so by announcing such a drastic change over a short period of time, it's quite disruptive, and it's very hard for developers and their partners to collaborate on solutions. And I think what it would do is it would move privacy in the right direction, but the user experience would certainly suffer in the short term, as well as transparency that brands have over how are they growing their businesses and what's working. And we don't believe that's a zero-sum game. We believe you can move privacy in the right direction while maintaining transparency and a great user experience. And I think this delay by Apple to push this out until early next year is in part a recognition that they need to work with the rest of the stakeholders in the industry to affect this change.
So what's the challenge of app makers, publishers, to make this thing work, and how are you sort of guiding them through, and how does the business use case change?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the challenge is that a lot of the mechanics in the operation of growth and marketing and even product development for apps relies upon identifiers like IDFA. So unworking that out of the system is not insignificant. And so a lot of developers are now having to rethink everything from their business models to their customer journeys. So on the business model side, you have developers who build free apps. They build great innovation and features and tools that we use as consumers, and they monetize this through advertising. They don't necessarily, some of them don't collect in-app purchases, in-app payments, or subscription revenue. And so to pay for engineering and to pay development of their companies and of their products, they monetize users. And that's at risk in a big way. So some companies are thinking about their business models and what they're building and why. Others are considering how they're going to adapt to targeting if they're unable to use user level identifiers. They're looking at how they're going to optimize. They're looking at how they're going to measure and attribute users. And that's really where we come in to talk with a lot of our customers, developers across the globe, big and small, from gaming and e-commerce to brands and travel and sort of everything in between. And we're helping them to interpret what these changes are and how to adapt to that and how to look at multiple ways of combating it. So just to give you an example, a lot of the solution that Apple is proposing is something called SK Ad Network. It's their version of a sort of attribution on iOS, but it's not very granular. It's going to need a lot of improvement to get to the viability that marketers would expect. And so, we see, and we're helping our customers think about additional flows. So maybe bringing users into mobile from email campaigns, maybe bringing users into mobile from more web campaigns. If you think about it, the experience, you might see an ad in an app to download another app, and you go to the App Store and you spend not much time there, and then you install. But it gives opportunity to direct people to brands' websites where you can get a fuller experience that the brand more controls, better understanding of what is this app going to provide, what am I going to get out of it, and ultimately that might drive better users with higher lifetime values into the app experience. So these are just some ways that we're helping our developers and customers think about the oncoming changes. So AppsFlyer, we're a 9-year-old company, about 1,000 people globally. We're headquartered in our R&D sits in Israel, although I'm based in the US. I run the US team and operations, and we have about 18 offices globally. We're a mobile attribution and marketing analytics company. And so we're helping mobile businesses and mobile teams measure their campaigns, help protect from buying fraudulent traffic and fraudulent users, helping to do audience segmentation of their first-party data, help understand journeys across web and mobile. So this is the business that we're in. And we've been blessed with some good growth and significant market share, which comes with a lot of responsibility in these times. We took on a large round, as you mentioned, earlier this year from General Atlantic, really we have a vision of helping mobile companies leverage their attribution and measurement data and extend the use of that data into other systems and tools. Think about sort of a marketing operating system where attribution and measurement sits at the core. So once I'm starting to understand, okay, where am I getting my new customers from? And what campaigns and which touch points are really driving the most valuable engagement, that certainly helps the performance marketing team and marketing and growth managers. But the output of that information, it's called attribution data, is a very powerful signal to a business. It's first-party data, and it represents a very strong signal for lots of different use cases, from execution and optimization of campaigns, to pricing, to appending to other customer records. And so what we're seeing advertisers do and customers do is take that data and send it on internally to different teams and different tools and internal, BI systems, as well as external partners to get more, value and use out of those use cases. And really, that's where we're focused now, is extending the use of attribution data across the enterprise.